You earlier on you mentioned that you brought this entire team from Hong Kong, right, to come down to Singapore and start working. Now, Jack Ma, when he started out Alibaba, I think you've seen this. He has this initial pitch, right? For those who don't know, go onto YouTube and Google it, or sorry, go onto YouTube, just search Jack Ma. I think it was the listing pitch or something like that. Now, what was the pitch that you gave to that team to go? I'm in. I want to be part of this, and you don't have to pay me that much. I'll still do it because it's an amazing thing. What was it that you said to them?
Okay, I mean the vision, right? I shared with them how big this could be, and they believed in it. But the other part about not paying enough, that part I paid well. I mean, have to be realistic here. You're in
Mm,
Singapore, you have bills to pay, you need to eat, you need to survive, and we pay very good rates. Because initially I thought I don't want any of my staff to worry about, being underpaid. So we
yep.
pay well. I mean, definitely market rates or better. I want to get that out of the way so
Mm,
they can then focus on that. And this is the part about Singapore, right? If you are, it's hard because you have to pay. You you have bills to pay. You have houses. You have HDB, right? You're a certain age. You're married. You gotta own a house. It's different from like in the US where you could just rent a place, and figure out and work on your startup. Over here, you have your responsibilities, and these are. So I met a lot of people. They were like, Keith, you're so daring. It's amazing how you took that risk because I can't. I wish I could. I could join you, but I have my kids. I have their tuition. I have the house to pay, the car to pay, and I can't take that risk. I have to just stay on with the job that I don't enjoy. So it's really, really difficult in Singapore. That's why it's the way things are. It's hard to have entrepreneurs who are willing to risk it all. And I'm thanks to my partner, you know, it's not a good experience for her to have that, entrepreneurial husband who's risking
mm.
everything, right? And she needs to believe in that as well and support me. So it's not easy on that.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
completely agree.
but I think back to that, it's really showing what could be possible and selling the story. I have to sell. I'm like a salesman, right? I have to sell it to future partners, investors, sell it internally to my staff to get them to believe in it. I'm selling the idea, right, all the time. But the good thing is we have progress, right? Every time we improve and we hit a new milestone, and everyone is just they believe in it because they see it happening, and then I
Mm.
think that keeps us going.
Right. I love this part about how you're running your company because to me, corporate culture, it's something that really begins from the ground up. It's not something that is templated as what other people believe. Oh, we want to work exactly the way Google does. We want to work the way exactly Apple does. But more importantly, right, how would you define a Crown Digital's company culture as what you and probably the others have developed it along the way?
That's something that I have learned a lot, in this last couple of years. And as you get busy, there's so much to deal with, right? And the culture, when we first started, it was very um, I'm that I'm that crazy guy with ideas, and I hire people. I don't check on them. I trust them, and they
Mm,
have the autonomy to do their things. And we kind of work in a very unstructured manner. Just I didn't have no, the company wasn't structured in any way. It was just a group of guys coming together, getting the job done. What has to be done, do it. And then as we grew, and then I start not having, visibility on certain things because the company has grown bigger. Then I realized that, the culture part is so important to continue to keep that narrative going. And sometimes you get carried away because there's so many things, now we have Japan business to deal with,
mm,
UAE, I have to deal with a lot more. And employees might see me less, and are they still aligned? These are things that we have to learn, and that's where we need to quickly get the HR, which I did already, team in to manage that as the company grows bigger and bigger. So we have challenges, and we are always on a learning curve. And I think end of the day, it's just got to be very, very honest with each other. And, and for me, I don't have airs, right? I'll just talk to them as it is. I eat downstairs. I do everything with the team, right? I'm not like that CEO. I'm being honest. I'm vulnerable. I need them. We all are part of this, of the company, and we need to leverage on each other's, and we rely on each other and to win. So I always say, like, we have a lot of battles out there. Let's not have any battles in house, okay? Let's focus on the real battle that's out there, and
Right.
be aligned. Yeah.
Great. And do you have these rumble sessions from time to time?
Yeah, we have to, right? Recently, and to keep that, recently we did a breakfast with Keith, and everyone coming together. Especially it's hard now with COVID last year, people working from home and all. And when you start working from home, you don't get together that much, and before you know it, right, things might go wrong, right? So it's important to keep everyone close together. And that's part of my entrepreneurial journey, right? It's not about just great ideas; it's about people management, and hiring people, the right people. Skill sets is one thing, right? The value system and their the value system in them is very important. It's critical. Skill set is one thing, but you need to work well with the rest of the team. And sometimes as a company grows bigger, you see friction happening amongst others, but we try to have, so in the end, eventually, hiring is really about not just skill sets. Skill sets, yes, you need to have them, but you can develop them on the way. But then also down to your bandwidth, right? You need someone to come in and solve your problem right away. Or are you going to cultivate and then if you have someone that's very brilliant, but it could be a jerk, then it doesn't work because it crashes with that. So this is something that is, to me, the biggest challenge, not just on the technology front, but people. Yeah. So moving forward, as we grow bigger, we're going to focus a lot on people, the culture, hiring,
Yeah, fantastic. I think with that mindset, right, the company is going to be awesome. As you continue to grow, it will continue to be an awesome place to be in. One of the biggest things I know that I've come across in many organizations, right, it's that the hiring culture has become one of that, like what you've mentioned. It's very skill set specific or skills heavy, and they're not looking so much into the person anymore and the potential of that person. What does that person bring to the table apart from just that one specific skill? Okay, fine. If you're a doctor, I mean, look, if it's an episode of House, it's okay. If the doctor comes off as a jerk, but he's brilliant, okay, you'll keep him, right? No matter what. But in our day and age, there are certain skills, or there are certain positions that require both these hard skills, technical skills, and soft skills that even a lot of generalists out there, right, would definitely be very suitable. The only challenge is because of picking up that technical skill first to be able to get past that door. So, on your end, right, what have been the biggest issues, right, when, or at least as a hirer or an employer, what is it that you ask, your number one question that you ask that tells you most likely yay or nay? What's that sensing that you can get?
From people, right? Okay, so we tried all, I've been through a lot of hiring, and we let go some people. I always have this, I give people that benefit of doubt. I always seeing the best out of people, because you got to give them a chance, right? And many a times, you don't know how the working relationship would be until you start working with them. And because it's also part of learning how to sense and kind of like understand over time what exactly you will look for in the person. The heart is very important because I think as a startup, it's going to be rocky. It's not going to be a bed of roses. There will be times when you have to work just get on with it. That's a problem you need to solve, and you are the person to solve it. And you just got to do it, right? No matter how hard it is. And when it's hard like this, it boils down to the value system, right? What are you doing this for? Are you here to make a difference, or are you here to get a job and get paid? Nothing wrong to just, you know what, my job here is to just deliver and then get paid, and then that's all I want. But I think, for a startup, you need more than that, right? You need more than that. So when all that great, beautiful stuff is just strip it aside, and it's just now, okay, you know what? It's hard, right? What is it that keeps you going? Is your heart that's true to the company, and you got to love the company. You got to love what you're doing, and absolutely love to be part of the team. And then have a good heart. That's fundamental. And many a times and it's difficult because in Singapore sometimes it's you need to balance that with work life, family, and all. It's hard, It's not like in another country where they are, a bit more, we are. It is the society. It's hard, but it is what it is. I have to deal with it. I have to keep them happy, right? And always focus that we have challenges, but we need your understanding. And so what we do now is we will throw a case scenario, right? This is a problem we need to solve. And can you, if you're willing, come in for a few days, learn about things, and let's pretend that we're working together. Let's work together. Let's see how this pans out. And for those who are really serious, they would say, okay, I'll find some time and I will study and I'll come up with my recommendations, and I'll work with you. And as you start working with them, you spar, and then you throw questions, and then you see how they react. I think that's the best way. That's how we're doing it now for key hires. Yeah.
Very
just kind
interesting.
of trial it. Just run it. Yeah.
Right.
Get an NDA sign, and then share some information, and then we go. Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. It's kind of like just a temp internship, if you want to do, really to test the waters, and it works both ways, right? For you to see whether or not there's a fit in the team, and the other one is to know whether or not they would really fit into the company or not.
Yeah. Just trial, just run it. I mean, we're still learning. I have a new HR who is very experienced, and I told him, I need your help, to build the culture. My culture is like, as such. I want the company to be like this, and please help me out. See my blind spots, areas that I missed out. Right, look out for me. So I I approach it this way, and whenever I hire somebody, I say, hey, I'm not great. Right, I'm good at this, but I need this to click, and can you do this for me? Can you help me? And this is what I want, and you'll be given that opportunity to run it your way, but keep this, and hopefully all comes together. So it's a learning. We're still learning. Yeah.
Right. Basically, then you can then develop your key pillars of your value system and what you want to get out of it and all that, right?